Good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of Busy Talks. So, as a startup founder, as a leader, or as a CXO of our team, we have to convince many that we are the right person to take this business forward. और उस चीज को आसान बनाने के लिए हम अगर अपने आप को एक ब्रांड बना लें तो बहुत सारी चीजें अचीव कर सकते हैं. So इस बात पे ladies and gentlemen, let me invite you our guest speaker for today, Miss Ashita Verma. Hi
Hi,
Ashita.
hi everyone. Hi, Rakesh.
Hi. It's a pleasant to have you here with us, Ashita. And today we are going to talk about personal branding. And आपसे अच्छा और कौन expert हो सकता है personal branding के लिए. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, Ashita?
My name is Ashita Verma, and I'm the founder of Growth Fuel Marketing, as well as I'm a personal branding specialist. So, I help founders and CXOs build their personal brands on LinkedIn and Twitter, as well as to strategize how to take forward their brand identity through various social media platforms and PR channels.
वाह. सो आशिता, इसके साथ शुरू करते हैं तो एक पर्सनल ब्रांड को डिफाइन करते हैं पहले कि अगर आप पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग को डिफाइन करेंगे तो
Mhm.
किस तरह से, क्या है पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग?
So personal branding is you. Whenever जैसे अगर हम किसी ब्रांड के बारे में बात करें
हम्म.
आप कभी भी कोई ब्रांडिंग के बारे में बात करें तो आज के टाइम पे इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द कंपनीज बट अबाउट द फाउंडर एंड अबाउट द स्टोरीज around which the company has been built and for the startup and it is a great platform for startups to leverage because besides being xyz company
हम्म.
they can portray themselves as the founder, leader, co-founder, or CMO of that particular brand and why they started, how they started, and just bringing their selves themselves forward on the platform. Yeah.
ओके. तो क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि दे कैन प्रेजेंट देमसेल्व्स एज अ डोमेन एक्सपर्ट?
Absolutely.
ओके. ओके. सो आशिता, हम जब पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग की बात करते हैं तो सबसे पहले फॉलोअर्स की बात आती है कि पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग यानी बहुत सारे फॉलोअर्स. सो क्या ये सही है?
बिल्कुल नहीं बिकॉज़ आपके पास कह लो 20,000 फॉलोअर्स हो सकते हैं पर वो 20,000 फॉलोअर्स आपके ब्रांड को सपोर्ट ना कर रहे हो बट हो सकता है कि आपके पास 1,000 फॉलोअर्स हो जो कि आपका गोल फुलफिल कर रहे हो. सो पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग जब आती है ना तो आपको एक गोल सबसे पहले आपको अपने माइंड में गोल बनाना है कि व्हाट डू यू वांट out of that personal brand. Do you want loyal fans or do you want just the vanity metrics ki I need 1 lakh followers in 6 months? Because whenever I come across prospects they say like I need 1 million followers in
हम्म.
1 year of
हम्म.
time or 6 months of time and I want this, but I just ask them what is their goal, what would what would they want out of those 1 lakh followers or maybe 20,000 followers. What is their goal
हम्म.
for out of
हम्म.
those followers? So do they want someone to be the raving fans of their brand or to generate leads, or is it just the vanity metrics they are looking after?
अच्छा. सो ये वैनिटी मैट्रिक्स को हम थोड़ा डिफाइन कर सकते हैं कि
हाँ
वैनिटी
जी.
मैट्रिक्स क्या है?
वैनिटी मैट्रिक्स ऐसे हो गया कि जब तक आपकी पोस्ट पे 300 लाइक ना आए या फिर आपके
हाँ.
20,000 फॉलोअर्स नहीं है तो आपका पर्सनल ब्रांड नहीं है या आप कुछ नहीं हो. मेरे पास ऐसे भी क्लाइंट्स हैं जिनके हम लोग 800,000 फॉलोअर्स पे हम लोग लीड्स जनरेट कर पाते हैं. और
ओह.
लीड्स जनरेट कर पाते हैं और उनकी अगर आप देखो आज के टाइम पे कितने सारे लिंक्डइन पे ऐसे अकाउंट्स हैं जिनके 10,000 से कम फॉलोअर्स होंगे, पर उनकी अकाउंट की रीच, उनकी इंप्रेशंस उन लोगों से भी ज़्यादा है जिनके 50,000 फॉलोअर्स है, 55,000 फॉलोअर्स है। सो इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट द फॉलोअर्स, आप
हम्म।
इट इज़ अबाउट द वैल्यू दैट यू ब्रिंग टू द टेबल।
अंडरस्टूड। सो यानी फॉलोअर्स होना जरूरी नहीं है, बट आपका रीच होना ज्यादा जरूरी है।
रीच
क्या
होना
मैं सही?
ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, हाँ जी, एंड जो फॉलोअर्स हैं, बेसिकली
ओके।
एंगेज्ड फॉलोअर्स होना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। इट कैन बी कि
हाँ।
आपके पास
ओके।
500 फॉलोअर्स हैं, पर वो आपके रीच में बिल्कुल कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर रहे हैं, आपकी कोई पोस्ट पे इंटरैक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं। एंड देन देयर कैन बी लाइक किसी के पास वही 2000 फॉलोअर्स हैं, एंड 2000 के 2000 फॉलोअर्स, 2000 के यू कैन से 1000 फॉलोअर्स अगर उस पोस्ट पे इंटरैक्ट कर रहे हैं किसी ना किसी तरह से, नॉट ऑन ऑल पोस्ट बट on some posts, or maybe they are talking to the person on chats. So it's, so whenever we talk about personal branding, it is not कि जो दिख रहा है, इट्स बियॉन्ड दैट, कि वो जो जो लोग आपके पोस्ट पे अगर कमेंट भी कर रहे हैं, तो वो
हम्म।
कॉन्वर्जेशंस क्या आप चैट्स पे लेके जा रहे हैं, क्या आप उनके साथ कनेक्शन बिल्ड कर रहे हैं, क्या वो लॉन्ग टर्म कनेक्शन कभी कोई वैल्यू में कन्वर्ट होगा कि नहीं होगा।
ओके। सो इसका मतलब पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग सिर्फ अपने आप को विजिबल करना नहीं, बट अपने ऑडियंस के साथ इंगेज करना भी ज्यादा
जी,
जरूरी है।
एब्सोल्युटली।
राइट, राइट। सो
हम्म।
बट जैसे कि हमने बात की, आपने बताया कि आपने कुछ फाउंडर्स के साथ काम किया है, और उनके पर्सनल ब्रांड से 1000 2000 फॉलोअर्स से भी वो लीड्स जनरेट कर पा रहे हैं। दैट इज समथिंग विच
हम्म।
इज रियली इंसाइटफुल।
राइट।
सो हम इस पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग को इफेक्टिव कैसे बनाएं? अगर हम बात करें कि लेट्स स्टार्ट कि हाउ डू वी डेवलप अ पर्सनल ब्रांड फॉर फाउंडर्स एंड सीएक्सओस?
ओके, सो सबसे पहला वही चीज़ जो मैंने बताई कि हम लोगों को गोल डिफाइन करना है कि आपका
हम्म।
गोल क्या है, आपकी आपने अभी कंपनी, आपकी कंपनी को कितना टाइम हुआ है, आपकी कंपनी कितनी नोन है ऑलरेडी। सो अब आप किस स्टेज पे हो कि आपकी जो ऑडियंस है वो अवेयर भी है आपकी कंपनी या आपके प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस को लेके, कि अनअवेयर है। तो पहले तो हमें अवेयरनेस लेवल देखना है ऑडियंस का, फिर उसके
हम्म।
हिसाब से हमें इनिशियल लेवल पे, लेट्स से कि कंपनी इज वेरी न्यू, लाइक 1 मंथ कि अभी बहुत नया कोई सर्विस लॉन्च किया या प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया, एंड द कंपनी इज वेरी न्यू, एंड द प्रोडक्ट इज ऑल्सो न्यू इन द मार्केट, the audience is unaware, completely unaware. So
हम्म। हम्म।
we have to start, we don't have to start by talking about the product or service. We have to start by talking around, I mean, uh, जैसे सबसे पहले तो आपकी प्रोफाइल ऑप्टिमाइज होएगी, हेडलाइन,
ओके।
अबाउट सेक्शन, बैनर, उस सब में हम आपके सर्विस और जो भी सर्विस है, जो भी आप प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे हो उसके अराउंड लिख सकते हैं। बट जब कंटेंट की बात आती है, तो कंटेंट में वी वुड बी टॉकिंग मोर अबाउट द द प्रॉब्लम और द गैप इन द मार्केट, एंड स्टोरीज अराउंड दैट गैप, एंड कहीं ना
ओके।
कहीं जो जैसे एक फाउंडर होता है या फिर जो सेल्स में होते हैं, मार्केटिंग में होते हैं, दे नो कि व्हाट प्रॉब्लम देयर कस्टमर इज फेसिंग, तो उनके पास जो स्टोरीज होती है ना, दैट आर वेरी रॉ। सो अगर कोई फाउंडर कभी किसी कॉपीराइटर से लिखवाते हैं या खुद लिखते हैं, तो उनको वो स्टोरीज को सामने लाना चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ एनी अदर कंज्यूमर इज जिनसे उन्होंने ऑफलाइन इंटरेक्ट किया है या फिर जो भी उन्होंने प्रॉब्लम देखी है, अगर वो फेस कर रहे हैं, तो वो प्रॉब्लम बहुत लोग फेस कर रहे होंगे। बट हम लोग लिंक्डइन पे जब हम कंटेंट देखते हैं, तो समटाइम्स इट्स वेरी जेनेरिक, कि कुछ लीडरशिप के अराउंड लिख रखा है और ये सब, एंड दैट
हम्म।
इज वेरी गुड कि आपको इंस्पायरिंग कंटेंट लिखना है, आपको अपने अराउंड, अपने अपने अचीवमेंट्स के अराउंड भी लिखना है। बट अगर आपको अपनी सर्विसेज या प्रोडक्ट को आगे लेके जाना है, सो आपको अपने कंज्यूमर की प्रॉब्लम्स और मार्केट में गैप्स के अराउंड कंटेंट बनाना है, and along with that
ओके।
you have to create a mix of, obviously, of your journey as a founder, as a cxo, how did you start, and then again ki how did you start, why did you think of this idea, what problems did you face while launching your product or service. So you have to build it from there.
ओके, सो हमने कुछ काफी सारी चीजों की बात की यहाँ पे। सबसे पहले हमने बात की अवेयरनेस की, and then we spoke about building the audience and making sure that audience is aware about what
हम्म.
you are doing, right? एंड उसके बाद फिर हमने बात की कि आपके प्रोफाइल को हम ऑप्टिमाइज कैसे करें।
हम्म.
And then we spoke about about the storytelling and content creation for that particular audience।
Yes.
ठीक है। सो अब बात करते हैं अवेयरनेस की। आई थिंक अवेयरनेस और कंटेंट क्रिएशन विल गो हैंड इन हैंड, राइट? वो साथ में ही एज अ मिक्स हमें डिराइव करना होगा।
एब्सोल्युटली. और हम कभी भी नहीं सोच सकते कि हमारी मतलब पूरी अगर लिंक्डइन पे 900 मिलियन ऑडियंस है तो सबके सब अवेयर हैं आपके कंटेंट को लेके. लिंक्डइन हो गया, कोई भी प्लेटफॉर्म हो गया, कि
ऑब्वियसली।
सब लोगों को आपके प्रोडक्ट का प्रॉब्लम पता हो, तो आपको हर अवेयरनेस लेवल के लिए लिखना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल 6 मंथ्स डाउन द लाइन
हम्म।
आपके पास लेट्स से 10,000 फॉलोअर्स हो गए, एंड नाउ यू थिंक कि आपने इतना ज्यादा स्टार्टिंग में कंटेंट डाल रखा है, अब आप क्या डालोगे, या फिर आपका प्रॉब्लम अवेयरनेस कंटेंट तो डल चुका है, तो कि अब आप क्या करोगे. बट आप ये नहीं सोच सकते, आपको अनअवेयर ऑडियंस के लिए अभी भी कंटेंट डालना है. अवेयर अवेयर ऑडियंस के लिए भी डालना है, बट अनअवेयर के लिए भी डालना है, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट कि द ऑडियंस इज स्टिल बिल्डिंग अप. So you can
हम्म।
never think that ki everyone is aware about your product or service. You have to keep a mix of the type of content. Yeah.
ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग। सो अगेन टाइप ऑफ कंटेंट। सो मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है यहाँ कि लेट्स से अगर हम एक टॉपिक के ऊपर हम रिसर्च करके वी स्टार्ट क्रिएटिंग द कंटेंट, और हम हमारे ऑडियंस को उस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक पे अवेयर करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, और उस ऑडियंस के साथ हम एंगेज करते हैं, तो वो पर्टिकुलर पर्सनालिटी जो है हमारे साथ हमेशा रहता है, या आगे चल के हम उसको बदल भी सकते हैं? कैन वी चेंज दैट इन फ्यूचर?
Personality as in
I'll
personality
give you
of
I'll give
your
an
brand.
example. I'll give you an example. Let's take an example. Uh, let's say a founder who is 35 years old. ठीक है? Now, as a person, he may be expert in many things, right?
Right.
But he is doing business, let's say in real estate. ठीक है?
Hmm.
So ये फाउंडर है, ये रियल एस्टेट में, प्रॉप टेक में, ही इज स्टार्टिंग समथिंग ऑफ हिज ओन। And on the contrary, he is also good with sports. He is also good with business strategy. He is good with other multiple things. Now, for him to establish a personal brand, what should be his goal?
Hmm. So definitely we have to think of 3 to 4 content pillars on which we would be creating content. So we cannot write about everything and everything that we know, but we have to think, I mean he has to think that what is his goal, like what does he want to be known for. And if it is such that he wants to be known in the real estate space, and that, I mean that would be the core goal, but also he wants that people should know that he's good with business strategy, he's good at sports. So like whenever we create content, like we are creating content five it's suggested to create 3 to 4 posts in a week, but there
Hmm.
are people who create 5 posts, 7 posts in a week. So maybe on Monday he's talking about a personal story where he's sharing about his schedule, then he talks about sports. On Tuesday he's talking about he's giving some educational, I mean providing some educational content around real estate, but also talking about business strategies in real estate.
In real
And
estate. Okay.
on yeah, so the next day he's not talking about real estate at all, but he's talking about business strategies in general. And uh, then concluding that he is a founder at this and that's a real estate company, and this is what he has implemented throughout. So and then the next day again something around real estate. So you have to think about what would be your core goal, core
Hmm.
what would be the core expertise that you would be known want to be known for. But and then think about some other content pillars that you would like to add. And def- uh, definitely it works. But maybe somewhere down the line, sometimes people ask me today, maybe he's in real estate, 6 months down the line he thinks that he wants to start his business, and now people know him in the real estate space, he
Hmm.
has followers in that space. Then definitely the followers who were following him just because of the real estate might not be following him through, I mean, they would be following him, but they might not stay engaged. There might be some who would
Okay.
be engaged, but there would be some who would just be there just because of the fact, because they wanted to, I mean, stay connected to him, get knowledge from him. So those kind of people might get swayed away, but still, it's always suggested to build in public, because I get this question a lot that I'm 25-year-old entrepreneur, and I am just starting out. I don't know if 2 years down the line
मेरा
I would
बिजनेस
have the
चलेगा या
same
नहीं
problem.
चलेगा. Yeah.
But if you build online, if you're building in public,
Hmm.
there is a chance that your business would, I mean, would be running throughout, because people would know you. Even if that business doesn't work out, people would know you, you would have following. And again, we say that it is not just one content pillar that you have to focus on. You can focus on 3 to 4 content pillars. Build on other pillars that you, if you are not that much certain, you can think about any other thing that you would want to be known for. Create content for that as well simultaneously. And if you want to switch, and if you switch, you can slowly transition into that. But if you're
Hmm.
building in
Hmm.
public, people would know that where you've come from, and every experience counts. So I guess that is something we should always be proud of when we are creating content on any platform, that we have learned, because everyone is exploring, so we have explored that area in our life, and we should share on when it comes to personal branding.
Interesting, interesting. So, okay, so this gives me an idea कि आगे चल के अगर हम इंडस्ट्री चेंज करते हैं, जॉब्स चेंज करते हैं या बिजनेस चेंज करते हैं,
Hmm.
so the audience which was earlier following us for so and so purpose, they
Hmm.
might get swayed away, but जो हमारा
Yes.
core audience है, who is sticking to us, will
Hmm.
always stick to us for multiple other aspects also.
Absolutely.
एंड उससे हम हमारे बाकी सारे बिजनेसेस भी प्रमोट कर पाएंगे थ्रू आवर पर्सनल ब्रांड. करेक्ट.
Yeah.
ओके. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड कि पर्सनल ब्रांड को सेटअप करने के लिए स्टेप्स क्या हैं. इफ let's say this 30-year-old 35-year-old real estate entrepreneur has to now start building a personal brand, तो
Hmm.
इसे कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए.
So, like if he's in real estate, it was initially one has to think that where their audience is. Like they have to understand that where
Hmm.
their audience would be most active at. So, when it comes to real estate, the audience would be more active on YouTube and Instagram. So
Okay.
they would have to start from those platforms. So, and I always suggest, if you have like that kind of budget, and people who would be willing to create help you create content, then you should go with you should start with both the platforms. But if you are just a one man army and you are creating content for yourself, start with one platform, test on
अच्छा.
one platform, build on one platform, and then take that audience, at least like for first 6 months, build audience on that platform, understand that platform, take out time just on that platform. And then example, the real estate person would start on Instagram. he should build for first 6 months on Instagram, then uh, create a YouTube channel, and definitely he can cross promote his YouTube channel on Instagram and get
Okay.
take the audience from Insta to YouTube.
Okay.
But
Okay.
and if you have like a team who would be supporting you, have video editors, you have content creators who would be supporting you, then it would be great to uh, work on both the platforms
Understood.
simultaneously.
Understood. Okay. So start with one social media channel and
Mhm.
eventually expand to other social media channel.
Yeah.
बट मेरा क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे ये आएगा कि हमें किसी और सोशल मीडिया चैनल पे स्विच करना है, वो
Hmm.
स्टेज कभी आएगा? हाउ डू आई आइडेंटिफाई व्हेन टू स्विच टू अनदर सोशल मीडिया चैनल?
Okay, so are you saying that on one channel, do you have that kind of audience or traction, and now you're
Again, taking
thinking when?
let's again take an example of this 35-year-old real estate entrepreneur. आपने कहा कि हम पहले इंस्टा या यूट्यूब से स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो इसने
Right.
इंस्टा से स्टार्ट किया, ओके,
Hmm.
एंड इंस्टा में इसका ऑडियंस एक स्टेज पे ग्रो हुआ। नाउ उसे कब किसी और सोशल मीडिया पे स्विच करना चाहिए और कब तक इंस्टा पे ही अपना ब्रांड बिल्ड करते रहना चाहिए?
So if he again, if I'm saying if he's a one man army and he's building, his social presence on Instagram, and he has built some kind of followers on Instagram, then what he can do is सो ही एक एक तो होता है कि आपको गोल होता है कि कि इंस्टाग्राम से अच्छा खासा रेवेन्यू जनरेट हो रहा है,
राइट।
कि रेवेन्यू जनरेशन स्टेज पे आ गया और ट्रैक्शन आ रही है, तो रेवेन्यू मतलब ज़रूरी नहीं है, बट अगर ट्रैक्शन आ रही है और उससे रेवेन्यू भी जनरेट हो रहा है, सो इफ दैट पर्सन थिंक्स कि इफ आई ट्रांजिशन, आई मीन इफ आई मूव get my audience to YouTube and build over there to gain more audience over there, I would be able to earn more. Then he can either invest in a team who would help him transition over there, or secondly what he can the other thing would be, कि इंस्टाग्राम पे करते हुए 8 months 10 months हो गए हैं और इतना अच्छा चल रहा है कि you it's like a daily routine kind of a thing for you, that that you would be creating content, you would be doing all these tasks, it would take 1 hour, and then you can think of you can move to other channels. Because what happens is whenever we start with any channel, call it YouTube, Insta, LinkedIn, Twitter, it would take you 3 4 hours every day to create content, think about it, what to do. I mean, I'm not saying it would take 3 4 hours for everyone. Some people are very creative, some people take time. There are days when you are super creative, and then there are days you can't think of anything. That also happens. But once you are in that content creation space and you are able to think a lot of ideas, um, s- uh, you might never be out of ideas, and secondly you would have like a pool of ideas already written down, and it would I mean and with time, it the time to create content also reduces. You get
ओके।
yes.
ओके।
So
सो यहाँ हमने बात किया कि यू नो इंस्टा पे आप तब तक बिल्टअप करो जब तक आपका रेवेन्यू जनरेट नहीं होता, and which can be other factors of measuring the success of a personal brand. So revenue can
hmm,
be one, कि revenue आना start हो गया, then I
hmm,
explore some other social media channel और उसको भी मैं build up करूँ. So
right.
revenue is one thing. इसके अलावा what can be other success measures of a personal brand?
So others can be the amount of followers, likes, and then again, उस सबके साथ, brand collabs. Because when you're
Okay.
building brands, people notice you. The other brands also reach out to you. So all these can be other metrics that can be, the ones that. you can measure. um, I mentioned revenue because like as a founder, whenever they people start
Hmm.
creating a personal brand for themselves, be it in any industry, their focus is leads, or maybe brand, to build like raving fans of a brand.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So, revenue is one. Then the other factor you mentioned is the engagement from the followers, the
Yes.
likes of the followers on your content. And the third you mentioned is when brands start coming to you and asking or seeking the tie-ups.
Yes.
Interesting, interesting. So these three can be the success measures. Okay. So going forward, लेट्स से कि अब ये यू नो फाउंडर को अपना वेंचर चेंज करना है. ओके.
Hmm.
ही ये फाउंडर है रियल एस्टेट में और इसने काफी सक्सेसफुल पर्सनल ब्रांड बनाया है रियल एस्टेट में. Unfortunately, or with some circumstances, real estate venture did not work out for him, and now
Hmm.
he wants to switch over to another venture, or his venture got affected, or some CXO got transferred from a company to another company. So ट्रांजिशन किस तरह से चेंज करता है आपके पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग को?
सो व्हेन इट कि जैसे लाइक अगर आप बिल्कुल रियल एस्टेट के हिसाब से कोर पर्सनल ब्रांड बिल्ड कर रहे हो ऑन इंस्टाग्राम, सो आपके फॉलोअर्स वगैरह भी सब वही होंगे जो कि रियल एस्टेट में इंटरेस्टेड हैं. बट मे बी इफ दैट वेंचर डजेंट वर्क आउट एंड यू आर ट्रांजिशनिंग, देन you would definitely be creating, initially you can talk about, if the founder is, I mean, willing to talk about their story on why that venture didn't work out and
Hmm.
what next he thinks he would be doing or he's planning to do. That would be great for his audience to understand, because otherwise the audience would get confused ki, like, till yesterday he was posting about real estate and now suddenly he has started talking about marketing.
Hmm.
But if he talks about his story, because when you're building in public, there are pros and then there are cons.
Yeah.
People, you share people share are very much willing to share the positive side of stories, but there are very few people who are, who can, talk about the negative aspects. But if the founder shares this story and why didn't work out, and why he is thinking of starting this, or what he's planning to do next, that kind of a post would definitely get him a lot of traction, would already set him up for his next venture, because he would be talking about what is he doing next. So some people who would be, going through that post, if he has, or if he already has, let's say, 5,000 followers, and good amount of traction on Instagram, now people are already getting that kind of reel or post through in their explore section. So when they would see that kind of a post, the people who are interested in that particular subject would also start following, and the people who have been following him through might also think that yes, I can, uh,
Hmm.
keep continue to, listen to this person because I know his story and I want to see that person grow ahead, because there are people who are, who do follow whenever the founders or anyone is transitioning as well.
Okay,
And
interesting. So now with this, I'm assuming that the initial goal of setting up as a real estate expert for this founder is no more the goal. The goal
hmm,
has changed and become to establish himself as a startup founder rather than a startup founder in real estate, correct?
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Okay, so this gives me an idea. Is it better to present yourself in a safe zone where you are doing personal branding for yourself in a generic manner, like say for example again this real estate startup founder,
हम्म.
अगर वो स्टार्टअप फाउंडर एज अ स्टार्टअप फाउंडर अपने आप को पर्सनल ब्रांड करता है rather than a real estate expert, it's more safe for him to play around with his future ventures and all.
बट अगेन आई वुड से कि लाइक जैसे हम कहते हैं कि एक्सपीरियंस जो एक जर्नी
Mhm.
होती है दैट
Yeah.
काइंड ऑफ isn't doesn't get reflected when it comes अगर हम इतना सेफ प्ले करेंगे so if that founder um, keeps a content pillar initially as like a startup founder where अगर हफ्ते में 4 पोस्ट जा रही है, 2 पोस्ट रियल एस्टेट पे, बट बाकी 2 पोस्ट हिज जर्नी एज अ स्टार्टअप फाउंडर पे है, then when he transitions it would be easy because people would be already following him as a startup founder as well. But if he
Mhm.
if he doesn't talk about real estate at all, or if he then the goal that he had, if the real estate venture would have worked out, might
हाँ.
never have been fulfilled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
safe play करना फ्यूचर के लिए might not be a very wise choice. कुछ हम मिक्सचर कर सकते हैं डेफिनेटली कि लाइक मिक्सचर ऑफ कोर्स कि एज अ स्टार्टअप फाउंडर भी अपने आप को इस्टेब्लिश करो, बट एज अ रियल एस्टेट ओनर भी.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So essentially, we come to a conclusion that you have to establish as a the domain expert more
Yes,
and less as a generic speaker on on the social media. Got
absolutely.
it. Interesting. Okay. So now हमने काफी सोशल मीडिया की बात की कि सोशल मीडिया से हम पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग कर सकते हैं, कंटेंट क्रिएशन कर सकते हैं.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from social media, if I have to start creating my personal brand, what are the other sources where I can hunt for or market myself? मैं किस तरह से अप्रोच कर सकता हूँ अपने फॉलोअर्स को?
So if I talk about कि social media नहीं है, then Pinterest भी I can say it's again a form of social media अगर आप बिल्कुल visual format पे आ जाए. Then other than that there's Medium where you can create blogs. So
Okay, so where you
so
can become a writer.
yes, and a lot of industry professionals create their blogs on Medium. Like one of my clients is in UX industry, and she has been, building um, her social presence or personal brand on Medium as well. So yeah,
Okay,
so
so I'll take an example here, Ashima. शायद
Mhm.
थोड़ा सा हम टॉपिक से अलग भी जाएं. Okay,
Definitely.
I remember, and I am talking about a very well-known personality in business, Mr. Vijay Mallya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now he had that flamboyant image created by multiple sources where he used to party around and he used to um, be in a luxury and showcase his luxury across.
Yes.
I think social media आजकल वो सारी चीजें आसान कर देता है because you get to show it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But उस समय social media नहीं था, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, Mr. Vijay Mallya was very, very successful in creating his personal brand, and people knew him less as a Kingfisher founder, but more as a flamboyant personality or a party going out person, right?
Okay.
So मैं वहां से आ रहा हूँ. That's the angle that I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
catch here कि uh, ये हम किस तरह से एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं या you're saying कि ये हम करें बट सोशल मीडिया को हम इग्नोर ना करें.
एब्सोल्युटली लाइक वो जो एक टाइम था दैट वाज कि सोशल मीडिया एरा नहीं था, देन उस टाइम पे पीआर सोर्सेस के थ्रू ये सब चीजें
हाँ.
करनी पड़ती थी. एंड अभी भी इफ लाइक वेन एवर वी क्रिएट द स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर अ क्लाइंट, तो वी ऑल जैसे जब depends on their goals again, but when we want to portray that founder as a leader in the industry and talk about his like stories as well, or his uh, or the sides that can't be shown just as like the founder.
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
we showcase that through PR sources. So for that, there's like the organic coverage, where once you build your social presence on a level that a journalist and PR sources kind of inbox you and asks you for a feature, and that is one way to go, and that is a long journey, to be very
Hmm.
honest. Then the
Interesting.
second
Interesting.
Hmm. And
Okay.
second one is to reach out to PR agencies and get yourself featured. That is another.
Which is the expensive part. So
Yeah.
the affordable part is to build your social presence through social media
Hmm.
and let the PR agencies run towards you rather than
Yes.
you spending money and running towards the PR. Interesting,
Hmm.
काफी interesting है ये. Right. So, okay. So, आजकल personal branding की trends क्या है? I'm seeing many people, coming online like me, right?
Hmm.
And speaking to people. But is this really working? I don't know. Okay, because I've also recently started my journey. Uh,
Hmm.
is writing working? Is the video creation working more? Is interaction or the webinars like this are working better to create a personal brand? So क्या trend follow हो रहा है आज?
So, when it comes to personal branding, definitely एक market में trend होता है that you have to follow, but आपको अपने content के हिसाब से test out भी करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, that what is working for your personal brand. There are so many clients for whom just the text post still works. करेंटली अगर आप सुनो तो कहते हैं कि ओनली टेक्स्ट वोंट वर्क ऑन लिंक्डइन, बट फॉर देम
हम्म,
टेक्स्ट पोस्ट इज वर्किंग. देन देर आर पीपल जिनके लिए कैराउजल्स बहुत अच्छे वर्क करते हैं, बट लेटली कैराउजल्स का थोड़ा सा ट्रैक्शन लो आ रहा है,
okay.
like past 1 month से, but अभी वो that is something that the algorithm decides, और वो ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है. बट
Hmm.
कैराउजल्स हो गए. एक टाइम था जब पोल्स हम कहते थे कि लिंक्डइन पे पोल्स होंगे तो आप पोल चला दो, आपकी पोस्ट बहुत अच्छी रीच चली जाएगी. पोल्स आर
Yeah.
स्टिल रेलेवेंट, बट उतना भी नहीं कि दैट लिंक्डइन इज पुशिंग इट a lot. Currently, for images, the content plus image format is working a lot, and in 2024 people are saying that video format would be the most trending
The
on LinkedIn.
dominating format.
uh,
Okay.
would, would, would be dominating, and it is already dominating other platforms like Instagram, YouTube,
Hmm.
Facebook. So yeah, already video content is the future, and eventually LinkedIn would also be adapting to the to video content. That's being said.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so video is the future. So, personal brand creators or the founders or CXOs who wish to create the personal brand have to somehow become less camera shy, right? And come
Yes.
on camera and create videos and post it. Okay, that's difficult, I guess. Something for some of them, but
True.
I think eventually हर startup founder को काफी कुछ face करना पड़ता है और कैमरा के आगे आना कंपलसरी है, guys. So इस चीज को नोट कर लीजिए. Okay, interesting. So ओके, एक क्वेश्चन था, मतलब जैसे हमने शुरू में स्टार्ट किया था, राइट, कि
Hmm.
पर्सनल ब्रांड हमने बात की कि लोगों को लगता है पर्सनल ब्रांड क्रिएट करना मतलब सिर्फ फॉलोअर्स क्रिएट करना,
Right.
राइट. बट ऑन द कॉन्ट्ररी देयर इज अ मिथ कि पर्सनल ब्रांड इज somewhat like image building और
हम्म,
रेप्यूटेशन मैनेजमेंट। तो ये तीन चीजें अलग कैसे है? पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग, रेप्यूटेशन मैनेजमेंट एंड इमेज बिल्डिंग, और आर
okay.
दीज ऑल थ्री पार्ट ऑफ द सेम ग्रुप?
So I would say all these go hand in hand. When it personal branding is like image building and reputation management is like a synonymous thing, but when it comes to personal branding, it can you can say it is a part of reputation management, because when it जब reputation managers एक company appoint करती है, so that they are looking over the reputation of the overall brand or reputation of that particular that entrepreneur throughout the on I mean throughout online and offline media. And सो पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग या सोशल मीडिया सिर्फ एक उसका एक पार्ट होगा, बट रेपुटेशन मैनेजमेंट में फिर हम पीआर भी आ जाएगी कि पीआर सोर्सेज से लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं आपके ब्रांड के बारे में या उस फाउंडर के
So,
बारे में क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं. सो उसमें ओवरऑल सब कुछ आ जाता है रेपुटेशन में, लाइक योर ब्रांड रेपुटेशन, व्हाट अदर पीपल आर सेइंग एज वेल, बट पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग इज व्हाट यू आर सेइंग.
acha, so personal branding is what I am saying to my audience, and reputation management is what other people are talking
People are
about me,
perceiving basically, yeah.
perceiving about me. Okay, okay. Okay, so this brings to my thought ki I may portray myself as an ex-person
Hmm.
to my audience, but many people try to bluff it. ठीक है, I'll give you an example कि मैं इसी 35 year old रियल एस्टेट एंटरप्रेन्योर की बात कर लेते हैं. सो
Right.
जैसे हमने बात की कि इसका शायद ये वेंचर काम करे ना करे, सो ही इज ट्राइंग टू पोर्ट्रे हिमसेल्फ एज अ रियल एस्टेट एक्सपर्ट,
Hmm.
which he might not be, and which can be a case that his venture is failing,
Right.
right? So how do he has to be more cautious about it so that his audience doesn't lose interest in it?
So I have a counter question before answering.
Sure.
Like his audience has to be like if he's not real, then like how cautious how to be like fake. I mean I'm not able to understand the question maybe.
Ah, interesting. Okay. I was taking a hypothetical situation here कि ये real estate founder है, because he is a real estate founder. He is presenting himself as a real estate expert.
Hmm.
Uh, but actual में he is not the real estate expert. It is the team that is talking about it, and he's presenting himself as a real estate expert. But आगे चल
Okay.
के he you know कंसिस्टेंसी आई थिंक मे बी द की कि वो लूज कर दे. किस तरह से वो अपने आप को कंट्रोल करे, या और डू यू फील दैट फेकिंग ऑन सोशल मीडिया इज नो नो, right? And you shouldn't do it ever. But that makes me think that are people really real on social media?
I don't believe people are real on social media. There are so many, I mean, so many people, you can say like on LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you see, कि they are building a brand, and they are talking about an expertise that like they are a real estate expert, or they are let's say a marketer or a copywriter, just giving an
Hmm.
example. And
Hmm.
turns out that they are not uh, the person that they are portraying to be. Instead they are like just a norm, they just want fame through social
Hmm.
media basically. They
Okay.
might just be so yeah. So you
But then
can't.
with these fame creators, don't you think that the actual domain experts are losing the the audience? I mean, that as we talk about the camera shyness, ठीक है? तो हो सकता है कि एक स्टार्टअप एक्सपर्ट हो जो रियल एस्टेट में काफी अच्छा हो. He has been in real estate for 20-30 years, but he's shy to come in front of the camera. Whereas there is this other 20, 30, let's say 20s guy who
Hmm.
pretends himself to be a real estate expert and he's too good in content creation. So
Right.
how can an audience identify the difference between the two?
I don't think they can. They can.
Ah,
As if
interesting.
like because I mean if the person is already good at content creation and he's portraying himself to be the best, then audience would definitely come towards him. But in defense of the other person, I would say like the one who is the actual real person
Yeah.
and is
Huh.
camera shy, they can find out ways to build their personal brand. Either get that confidence and start creating videos, or maybe find a way around where they don't have to show their videos.
Hmm.
And definitely in real estate space, they might not need to show their videos, they just need to record the audio and put a voiceover along with the spaces that they have created or the designs that uh, they are they're exploring or something around that. So they have to find a they you have to find a way around it to build your audience and stop thinking about what the other person is doing. Because today there are a lot of people that are
Hmm.
faking on social media, and you can't monitor that. And that is like there are plus and then there are minus of everything. So that's like a negative side of social media.
Okay. So you have to fight it out, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the only option. ठीक है तो बात करते हैं यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की. ओके सो अभी तक हम
Hmm.
एक एग्जांपल ले रहे थे कि एक 35 ईयर ओल्ड एंटरप्रेन्योर या फाउंडर को क्या करना चाहिए. ओके
Hmm.
लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ द यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर वेयर यू आल्सो स्पोक अबाउट इट कि अगर एक 20s mid 20s entrepreneur है, whether it be a guy or a girl, what would be your advice to that entrepreneur and who is just about to start creating his or her personal brand?
So I would say that don't shy away or hold back your stories. Build in public as much as you can. Like if you would be building in public and creating content in public, you would get the traction and you would get the recognition that your brand needs. Like if I give a real example, that is me. I'm 26 years old, and i I was recently at an event like yesterday, and three of the people came to me and said that they've seen my content on LinkedIn and they know me from LinkedIn. And I've talked about it before as well, because this is something that has happened several times during the events, that people come to me and say that they know me from LinkedIn. So people get to know you, or about your services. Maybe like out of a crowd of 1,000, three people come, but they know you. That is plus three people who might have not known you if you wouldn't have built your personal brand. So you have to start somewhere, and build in public.
Okay, interesting. So okay, so let's talk about this. आपका जो ये सिनेरियो है कि आप किसी इवेंट में गए और वहाँ पे you met three people who said that they identified you
Hmm.
via your LinkedIn and came to you and met you. So how has social media affected you uh, when you have created your personal brand?
So uh, like affected me in a very positive way, because when I started creating content, I didn't have an agency. I was working in a company, but while I was creating content, I already used to do freelance work. But while I was creating content, I started getting so many opportunities on in my inbox. There were job opportunities, there were freelance opportunities, and at like personal branding gave me the security that even
Hmm.
if I leave my job and start building I mean, creating more content and start working on the leads that I've got, I can build a good business around it. So,
Hmm.
personal branding affected me in a very positive way, I would say.
Okay. So then I guess it's common for all to start creating a content, sorry, a content online
Mhm.
around their domain expertise, right?
Definitely.
Okay,
Like,
that's a huge message that we are giving out to our audience, guys. It's not only for founders or CXOs, okay, we are advising here that each and every person should start investing in their personal brand and content create करिए आपके domain expertise पे.
definitely.
Okay, great, great. Right. So, okay, so we now come to a conclusion, and we will have some questions attended from our audience. So, guys, you can put in your comments and ask questions, and you have a chance to interact with our personal brand expert, Miss Ashita Verma. Cool. So, our first question, Ashita, here.
Mhm.
So, when it comes to personal brand, is Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, which one is more effective?
So every platform is effective. You have to find out where your audience is. Can you tell me, like, which domain are you from or which industry are you from? I can give you an example right away.
So let's take an example of a generic domain here, Ashita. Uh, Again, let's talk about real estate. Okay.
Hmm. So, real estate, mein, like I said before, that Instagram and YouTube would be the best way to go, because when it comes to real estate, LinkedIn might not have that kind of relevant audience for them to build. I mean, for them to grow exponentially and to get leads. But Instagram and YouTube definitely would give good results. So you have to find out where your audience is and build from there. And if you have
Okay.
all, I mean, if your audience is present on all the platforms, maybe start from one platform which you find easy. If you feel that video creation is your thing, start from Instagram. If you feel that content writing is your thing, start from Twitter or LinkedIn. I would say LinkedIn would be better, uh, but that's my perspective.
Okay. So we have Mr. Anshuman here. He says that he's a travel domain expert and he is an entrepreneur, an
Mm-hmm.
aggregator of hotels.
Okay.
So for him, which social media platform should be ideal?
YouTube, I would say.
YouTube. Okay.
YouTube and Instagram again, because in travel domain there are a lot of bloggers, and so that would be the best platform to portray and go forward. But when it comes to B2B, they should also build a presence on LinkedIn.
Okay. So any B2B, LinkedIn is the best platform. Are we concluding that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. ठीक है. Is it different between the service sector or product sector?
Uh, Again, I would say it depends on what kind of audience that you are trying to target, which industry are you from, and like the and what is your goal. So for
Hmm.
service sector, maybe for a designer, I would say a graphic designer would justify their content a lot on Instagram, let's say. But for someone like like me or a copywriter would justify, I mean, their content would be more justified on LinkedIn or Twitter. So, if I don't talk about marketing, any other domain, you have to think like what kind of content you are comfortable at and where your audience is.
Okay, okay. Cool. So, with that, I would leave the session in a very, very positive and vibrant manner. That, guys, we would be open for your comments and questions even after this session. So, you can log into your LinkedIn accounts, connect with us, connect with Miss Ashita Verma, and shoot out your questions. I'm sure she would be very happy to assist you. Right, Ashita?
Absolutely, would be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Great. Shita, it was a real pleasure to have you on our channel, Busy Talks, and this is a wonderful insight that you shared about personal branding, and I'm sure even Busy Talks would be very happy to implement some of your strategies, and even I would try to implement more on Instagram and YouTube for my personal brand expertise. So thanks a lot, and have a pleasure evening. Have a pleasure evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.